Hi, my name is Chris, and in this video I want to talk to all the photographers and videographers who want to have access to more than one lens right at their body when you're out and shooting, be it in the studio, on a wedding, or any other kind of photo shoot. Now for this, I actually got a package by FriiDesign, the TriLens. I asked them to send one out because I think this is a really intriguing product, especially comparing to something else that I have used in the past. The basic setup of this is that you can mount up to 3 lenses to this device, which is actually clipped to your belt, and so that you have those lenses all times with you, easy and ready to go. Now FriiDesign sent their TriLens to me so that I can review it here on the channel. They do not, however, get any input on the video itself. This is my opinion and my opinion only. Additionally, I want to say that this is my initial review, so basically just after a few days of having this around and just getting it to know. Now, I want to still share about this because I think it is a really exciting product which I have not seen on the market at all, even though this device itself is about 3 years old. Now, a couple of years ago, they actually launched a campaign on Indiegogo for this product. And now it is a fully fledged product out in the market, and you can simply just purchase it here on their website, and they even have worldwide shipping included. To start off, this device costs around 140 euros. It has worldwide shipping for free and is available with the lens mount options EF, EFS, Nikon F mount, Sony E and FE mount, Fuji X mount, the Micro Four Thirds, and also a Pentax K and Canon RF mount. And of course, that is also one of the reasons why I wanted to pick this up and also see how it performs, because I am using all RF glass. And of course, now they also have an RF option for the mounting. Now, something interesting here is that I have actually had a similar product like this in my kit a couple of years ago, and that was the lens kit made by Peak Design. Now, there are 2 issues that the lens kit at the moment has. For one, it is only available with Nikon, Canon, and Sony mount, and the Canon mount is the EF mount and not the RF mount, so that's not available at all for this kit. However, the other and more pressing issue with this is that you only have access to 2 lenses at a time, so that you can mount this on your belt with just 2 lenses. The problem that I have with that, and the reason why I think that 3 lenses is actually the perfect design, and the reason why this here, the TriLens, is so spectacularly interesting, is that with a 3 lens design, you can have access to 2 additional lenses that you don't have to carry around individually. You have 1 lens which is mounted on the body of your camera, and then you have 2 other lenses ready to go mounted to the TriLens. And when you want to switch out lenses, you simply take off 1 lens from your main camera, put it onto the open slot on the TriLens, rotate that so that you have access to the others, take off 1 other lens, mount it on your camera, and nothing ever has to touch the ground. Now, of course, if you really want to, you can also mount 3 lenses on the TriLens and another one on the camera, but then you're juggling lenses again, and that is exactly what I want to prevent. Now let's take a look into the package and of course set this up so that I can show you how this actually works. Now when you open this package up, you have a bit of a door right there, and that's a magnetic one, and you have a couple of usage examples here on the side. Then if we take a look around, you actually have the content of the package right here on the side, and on the back you actually have a ton of names, and those are the backers of the initial campaign. So everybody who basically supported this project, and apparently it were about 3,000 people that made this a product and a possibility. Then we open this up further, and to really do the unboxing, you usually would now pull this up, then this comes out, and there's actually really nice and funny kind of explanations or steps that are here, because now you can actually just simply pull all of this out, put this to the side, and here on the back there is another fixture so that the FriiDesign is fixed to this, and then you can simply take it out and have it in your hands like this. Now what we have here is a 2-part design. So you have the part that goes onto your belt and you funnel it through there, and it is actually really nice to wear this because they really made an effort in having a specific piece here at the bottom, which is kind of curved away from your body, so that the whole weight, when it's pushing on it and hanging there, is not pushing with a sharp end or something like that into your body. So that is a really cool design. Then of course you have a metal piece right here, which holds basically the self-leveling TriLens, And of course, you also have a mechanism to prevent it from sliding out to the top easily. The other end is the part that actually holds the magic. Of course, here at the back, you have the part that goes into the holster. And then you simply have 3 mounts of whatever camera mount you choose. Now, in my case, this is the RF mount 3 times all around. Of course, all the TriLenses have the same mount all around because otherwise it wouldn't really necessarily make a lot of sense. Now, I also have 3 caps on here. Those are included in the package so that you can actually protect this against dust and so that those stay clean whenever you are not using the TriLens. And I think that that is really practical. You also have a bit of a button in a way right here, which basically makes it so that the lens is safe and secure when it is mounted into this mount. Now, when I open one of these slots, I can just take this off and now I have the exposed mount right here. And then I can take a lens, like for example, in this case, it's the 24-105, align the red dot with the red dot on the TriLens, screw that in, and now I have the lens right there mounted into the TriLens. And then I can do the same thing with another slot. And in this case, I can mount the 70-200 f4, again, red dot to red dot, and lock it in there. And now I have 2 lenses mounted to the TriLens. And of course, now I can also do this and put it into the holster, which is used to mount this to your belt. And as you can see, when I hold this in front of the camera, for example, if I were to work with it like this, and I have finished with the lens up here, I can just leave it and it is automatically leveling itself so that the TriLens is again nice and even. Now with all of that, I think it's time to put this onto my belt and show you how this works when it's mounted to the body. Now, as you can see, I simply have funneled this through my leather belt that I have, which is usually the belt that I also use whenever I do any kind of photography work. It is the belt that works best for my use case, even with other things like, for example, the FriiDesign capture clip. And now here, I can just take the TriLens, use that, pull the lever right here so that it is open, and I can slide this into here and then let go. And now I have the TriLens mounted to the side of my body, and it looks like this. Now with this mounted, you can see I can basically just rotate this all around, and it is always self-leveling so that the lenses look to the bottom. And I also have freedom to move around above because there is no lens mounted here at the top. Now usually when I'm out, I also would remove this here because of course I want to be able to also put a lens right here into the top. Now I can demonstrate this by taking my EOS R here with the 15-35, take the lens off, align the red dot with the red dot on the TriLens, screw that into place, it's nice and locked. And now, for example, if I want to take the 70-200, pull this little lever down, unscrew the lens, take it off, put it onto my camera, and I'm ready to shoot. And as you can see, this here now, again, nicely leveled, and I am free to move above here, and I can continue with my shooting now with a completely different lens. And of course, again, if I want to change just like that, I am able to do that, and I have a different lens ready to go. And it is super accessible, super easy to do, and I find it is not really in the way of my work, and I can even squat down, take a picture, and continue working. Now when I'm ready, I can of course also simply take this off and actually do so without having to take off the whole belt construction because it has the quick release mechanism, easy with the pull of this lever right here, undoing the lock, pulling it open, and then I have this ready to go and can, for example, put it onto a desk. Now, something that you don't want to do with this design is, of course, you don't want to put it on a desk like this. It may work with certain lens configurations, but it can also be prone to falling over. And I would always just lay it flat on the face so that all the lenses basically touch the bottom and it's not uneven in any way. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that I used the FriiDesign lens kit before, but that only has access to 2 lens mounts and not 3. And that, of course, brings the obvious issue that if you want to carry 2 lenses and you want to have access to 1 more lens, for example, to put the one that you currently have on your camera in here and then be able to use any of the other 2 lenses that you have around with this kit, that was not a possibility. I, for example, at the time when I had the lens kit, always used the 85, the 25, and a 35 lens. And that meant that I always had to kind of juggle camera, lens that I just took off the camera, and also the lens that I wanted to mount onto the camera. Now here, this alleviates that problem completely because I can simply put the lens that I don't want to use anymore and take it off the camera, put it in here, and then do another lens that is accessible right there. Now, a downside that comes with that is that the lens kit makes it so that you can actually also store 2 lenses relatively easily while they're mounted to the lens kit. That is not really something that I would suggest with this design, because the volume that you need when you have this mounted together and you put this into your backpack is really massive. And so I would definitely recommend you take off all the lenses, put on your lens caps on the lenses, and also the TriLens, so that that is nicely protected. And that way you have an easier way to storing all the lenses in your backpack or your suitcase, and those are easy and ready to go. But the TriLens is another device that you have in your backpack to carry around, and it is there when you need it. Another interesting feature about the TriLens is about lens caps and how to store them when you're not using them. Now, personally, I don't really use that feature because I don't use lens caps. I have protective filters on the front elements of my lenses because I want to be able to shoot as continuously as possible without having to worry about these lens caps falling off or having to store them, having to put them into pockets and stuff like that. So this is something that I would not necessarily need. However, if you do use lens caps, then they are actually including some magnets and tape, which helps you to basically make these lens caps magnetic. And then you can easily take those lens caps and basically just store them like this here on the TriLens of the mount that you're currently not using, because of course that is of the lens that you currently have on your camera. So you can basically put this on here. It is protecting the TriLens mount from getting dusty. And when you're ready to change the lenses, you can take this off, put it onto the lens, put the lens here on the TriLens, and then take the next camera lens. Now again, I don't really use that because I don't use lens caps. Oh, and before I forget, there's also a pouch for your TriLens so that you can store it away in your backpack without hurting any other gear, so that it is basically scratch resistant or not scratching up anything that you have in your backpack. Now I'm super excited that I get to test this while traveling in Marbella on our trip there in the coming weeks, and to really put it through a test when I'm out and about hiking, as well as doing photo shoots and video shoots with Nicole for the yoga projects that we are doing there, and of course also the general content production in daily vlogs and much more. And I think that this will be a game changer to be able to not have to worry about, do I bring another lens, because then I have to also carry it somehow and also want it accessible. And this here makes it super easy so that that is not a question and hopefully makes me more creative. Now, I hope you found the video about the TriLens helpful, and if it was, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And of course, if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comment section down below, and I will try to answer those in the next video in about a month's time when I was able to test this thoroughly on location. Now, with all that said, I hope you have an amazing day. Make your life a little bit easier with a TriLens attached to your body so that you can continuously shoot with multiple lenses, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao!